I can't tell. I'm sorry, I had some technical difficulties. Is anyone there? Okay. It does look like something's happening. Okay. I'm going to carry on. Okay. Looks like I am on the right page. I'm off my laptop this evening, so it's a little different for me. And it wasn't going live. And now here we are. I'm just going to message the couple people that were there. I'm just going to hope that you show up. So here we are. I'm a few minutes late. My apologies. I think we're good. Okay. Good evening. It was a good time. If you're cheering for all the essential workers, 7 minutes at 7 o'clock, need a few minutes to get back onto your yoga mat. So let's say that I purposefully delayed this for that. In gratitude for all those essential workers out there. Good evening. It's an honor to be here with you and spend some time. And let's get started. So find yourself seated, whether you choose to sit cross-legged. Realize you may not be able to see me. I'm sitting cross-legged. I'm sitting on a pillow. My hips a little higher than they would otherwise be. Just that slight elevation is what I want to say. So if you need to find something to sit up on, you may also find it comfortable to be in a kneeling position. You may find it comfortable to sit with your legs open. We will start. Welcome mamas to be, new mamas who have been for a long time. Having an opportunity to be together right now is a blessing. I thank you. And for any partners that might be here, I hope you benefit and enjoy this as well. So sitting comfortably, our sits bones grounded, our spine straight and elevated, our shoulders relaxed, and space and openness here. Not to force anything, just to be tall and create space. And again, grounding through the sits bones. Close your eyes and just take a few breaths. Maybe just relieve yourself of any tension you may be holding with a sigh or a deeper, louder exhale. And when you find yourself complete, come back to that sitting position. Your sits bones grounded. your breath at ease. I'll speak to turning inward this evening, and that can be different for many of us. This evening, I will refer to turning inward, and if you can focus or bring that attention to that space between your eyebrows and a couple inches inward inside your beautiful head. Inward focus, the Dristi point. I'm going to expand our breath into a 3-part breath, complete breath. As you inhale, inhale to the bottom, to your abdominal space, to your lower ribs, and to your upper chest. And then exhale from top to bottom. As you inhale, your abdomen expands, ribs expand, and upper lungs. And then exhaling at your own pace, but I will speak to the inhalation and exhalation, give some guidance. The exhale being the top of your lungs, the mid to lower, and as you exhale, your abdomen contracts slightly. Inhaling, expanding your abdominal space, your lungs, exhaling from the top to the bottom. Find that ease without forcing, but really emphasizing the inhalation and exhalation, filling your lungs and emptying your lungs. Place your right hand over your heart center and your left hand over your abdomen, over your beautiful space that you've created in there for your baby. And inhale. And again, at your own pace. Bringing your abdomen in as you exhale and out as you inhale. creating quiet in your mind and calm in your body. And as you feel complete, you may place your hands on your lap. You may open your eyes. You may find you'd like to keep your eyes closed. This is for you to listen to your needs. And we'll just warm up our body. Place your hands to the side, body near the floor. We'll inhale our arms up and overhead. And exhaling down towards the floor. Inhaling up. Arms are extended, but no, not to force, just a flow here. And this time as we inhale up, bring your hands together and exhale down past heart center and back up again. And one more. And this time a little gentle twist. We'll inhale our arms halfway, looking over towards your left, which looks like right on the camera, but to your left. And looking over your shoulder. I'm actually moving towards my right. So left hand onto right knee, I'm sorry. So let's come back to center. It's a mirroring image, so it's a little bit. Okay, so we'll start back in center. Inhale our arms halfway, moving our left hand towards our right knee and our right hand just gently behind you as you gently twist and look over your right shoulder. Mamas who are pregnant, please be mindful of twisting. Only go to where it feels comfortable, where you feel a slight sensation, but always pulling back before it feels too much. And then back towards center, and we'll inhale and moving the opposite direction, right hand to left knee. Maintaining a straight spine and gently turning towards your left shoulder. Taking a full breath here. And on your next exhale, we'll twist back into center. We'll do that one more time. Inhaling our arms up, turning our left hand towards our right knee, right hand towards behind us on the floor or on the lower back, and looking over our right shoulder. And then back to center. Inhaling again, midway, right hand to left knee, looking over your left shoulder. And back to center. And we'll just do some shoulder rolls here. For any mamas who are breastfeeding, there may be some of you. I've invited any mamas, well, a couple special mamas I've invited who've already had their babies. So just being mindful of your shoulders. So changing position, changing direction. And just do that again, moving that. Just being mindful of your neck and shoulders and breathing into that. And let's bring our right ear to our right shoulder. And just feeling that openness along the left side. And again, only to a sensation that feels good. And then bringing your head to neutral. And left ear to the left shoulder. And maybe slightly bringing your chin slightly forward, just feeling it a little bit differently in the trapezius muscle there. And then back up. Let's do that again. So right ear. The sneering is a little tricky. Right ear to right shoulder. Back to neutral. And then left ear to left shoulder. And back to neutral. And this time, chin to chest, just slightly bringing your chin forward, feeling that stretch and length through the back of the neck muscle. And back up again. And maybe just a gentle little roll halfway from one side to the other. It's an amazing joint that holds our head in place. Beautiful. So I hope you can see me. Okay. I'm just coming forward so I can see myself and know that you can see me. Okay. So still in whatever seated position you're in, you can move your legs to a straddle at this point. Hips can still be elevated if that feels comfortable, or flat. And placing your hands on your knees, just a little gentle, just use like a cat-cow in a seated position. So inhaling, lengthening through the crown, and exhaling, rounding around your beautiful belly. Inhale, exhale. Inhaling and exhale. And then just a few nice, you can bring this a little closer to center if you just like to slightly move around. Just rolling yourself around in your hip joint, lubricating. And be mindful as we're moving ever so slowly of the contents of your mind. That restlessness that might come, that desire to move faster, the thoughts, the to-do list, whatever it is, as best as you can, and we all, with no judgment, but as best as you can, being here, right now, in your body. Close your eyes. Relax your face. Let's move. You may open your eyes. I have my feet together. Again, your hips can be tight. They can also be loose, depending on the relaxant and positions you might take throughout the day. So be mindful of that. And again, so feet are together, knees are out, holding onto your ankles. We'll just move again in that hip rotation, just feeling those sensations. Maybe just one sensation. extending over in front, rounding the back, extending. And when and if you do have a sensation that you can identify, just rolling over that, maybe a little forward and back, left and right, and breathing into that space. And we'll change direction. And then finding ourselves back into a seated position. We'll extend our legs and move into a table position. I will try this in my tea. Let's see if this works. We're learning and being different in different roles during this time. It's interesting getting used to seeing the reflection of yourself. So I thank you for being patient and being with me right now. So in hands and knees position, our hands are directly underneath our shoulders. If your wrists, sometimes women experience sensitivity in their wrists during pregnancy. You can always use your forearms. So in table position, knees are hip width apart, and the version of cat-cow. So pressing into your fingertips, not just into the wrists, not just into the palms, all the fingertips, so that it relieves some pressure from your wrists. So as you inhale, extending through the crown and the tailbone reaching towards the ceiling, and then exhaling, rounding around your beautiful baby bellies, dropping your head, inhaling, extending through the crown, pressing through the fingers, extending through the tailbone, exhaling, rounding around your baby, head drops. And follow your own breath pattern here. We'll do a few rounds. Then one more exhale, and we'll meet in neutral. Beautiful. So we'll do thread the needle. I'm just going to show you quickly that it's an inhale, reach up, exhale, under, shoulder to the floor. If you can, hips are high. And again. So we'll do that flow 3 times, and on the 3rd time, we stay and take a few breaths with our shoulder onto the floor or the mat. So let's start with our right side. So inhaling, extending to the ceiling, again being mindful of your bodies, if only here. Extending underneath and through on your exhale, shoulder to the floor, reaching with your hand, and then again inhaling up, under, inhale again, exhale under and through, threading the needle, shoulder to the floor, extending through that right hand, hips are high, may need to adjust them, creating space for your belly, and just breathe. Pressing into your hand, helping yourself back up to table. Back in neutral. And we'll do the other side. Left arm extending up towards the ceiling, underneath and through. Left shoulder to the floor. Inhale, arm extends. Exhale, under and through. Inhale. Exhale. And staying here. Taking a couple breaths here with your hips high. Your chin slightly tucked in towards your chest. Feeling that openness along the left side of your body and shoulder. Your head is rested. And then coming back to neutral. So let's do those hip rolls in this position. Again, pressing into the hands, pushing towards the left side, rolling back towards your heels, towards the right, leaning forward. You may want to do wide circles. You may find just smaller, closer to center circles. But play with this. Feeling the sensations in your body, and then changing direction. Even these slight right-left movements, using different parts of our brain, is good for our coping, our neural pathways, as we use both sides of our brain. Okay, coming back to neutral. Let's extend the right leg on an inhale, pressing back, active, heel is flexed. And inhale, bringing knee to chest, rounding the back. And obviously is only as far as comfortable. Extending. I'm going to do this 3 times. Exhaling, rounding. Inhale, extend. Exhale, rounding. And then to neutral. And the other side. So pressing our hands into the floor. And again, if you're on your forearms, you can still do this. So extending, inhale, extend. Bring your knee towards your chest, rounding your back. Pressing back. Knee towards chest, rounding as you exhale. Inhale, pressing back. And then back to neutral. And again, we'll do those hip rolls. This time, we'll extend the right leg, active, and bring it across behind the left foot. So you feel a lengthening on the right outer hip. And just take a breath here. And play with that, whether you press back into your foot, slightly move your foot, moving into that sensation. And then bringing your knees back to neutral. And again, with the left side, Extend the left leg and bring the left leg behind the right. It's straight. Toes on the floor. And just feeling that openness. And you may feel it in the outside of that left hip, or you may feel it on the right. And just breathe with that. And then coming back to neutral. And then this time again with the hip roll the other direction. For those mamas who are pregnant, finding these hip opening, rolling postures or movements will be good to have in your toolbox. Okay, coming onto our knees, we're going to make our way up to the top of the mat. If you're comfortable and you have done downward dog in your pregnancy, then you may find yourself in downward dog with a wide-legged stance. If not, you just may find yourself moving slowly to and pressing up into it. And feeling some opening there. The forward fold again, protective of your belly as you make yourself up to the top of the mat. And I'm just going to change my position here. Okay. Just going to come over here. So this will be our standing flow, a slow flow. And we will start at the top of the mat. You will stand, I'm more speaking to myself, I guess, trying to find which direction is easiest. So our standard mountain pose, feet hip width apart, feeling all the edges. So sides, front and back, feet are planted, shoulders are dropped into their place. Drop down, not up, just drop your shoulders, hands are at your side, palms facing out, head is extended, Tadasana, mountain pose. And just close your eyes. Feel the stability. You may find yourself tucking in your pelvis, rolling your sacrum just slightly downward, depending on how you carry in your pregnancy. And just finding that center, finding that feeling of centeredness as well. Take a couple breaths here. Staying in. So from mountain, if you're at the top of your mat, we're going to move into some goddess poses. So I'm going to go sideways here. So standing with feet slightly open, more closer together than hip width apart. Pressing into your left foot, you're going to step back with your right. And you're going to step back with your right with your foot at a slight angle. The front knee is bent, so your left knee is bent over the left ankle. You're pressing into the outer edges of your right foot, and you're pressing down into that left foot. And now we extend to our upper body, Finding a beautiful grounding posture. Our legs are active. Breathing our arms up and forward, facing the front of the mat. Your head is looking forward. Your eyes may find a Dristi point or a focal point in front of you. And your shoulders are relaxed. And just find your breath here. So Goddess 2, we're going to move that back foot, your right foot, more to the length of the mat. Your front foot stays the same. Your hips are open now towards the length of the mat. Arms are extended and looking over the front arm. So the arm over the bent knee, which would be still your left knee if we started the same, although mine looks opposite. Arms are at shoulder level. They are active, so they're extending. And that front knee is bent. Again, that knee is not over your ankle. That's to prevent any knee strain. Now we're going to straighten that front leg, turning both feet towards the length in a 5-star. And then extending forward, again, only to where it feels comfortable. Head looking at the beautiful reflection. Slightly bend your knees, and if you can reach the floor with your hands, find that space. And you may, whose pregnant mamas, may reach out a little further, more into as opposed to a forward fold where you would put your head between your legs. Just enough that you're opening up in your hips. Your legs are soft. If you need to bend them so that you can reach, do so. And your head is looking down. And maybe even rocking slightly side to side, creating that space. When you're ready, you're going to press into your feet, hands on your hips, and maybe using your legs, bending your legs as you come up so that there's no strain. And then inch your feet side to side, back into Tadasana. Close your eyes. If any of you mamas have blood pressure on the lower side, just take a few breaths here. Again, always remember to stay hydrated. More so in pregnancy, even though it makes you have to pee more. It's good to stay hydrated. So if you need to take a water break right now, now's a good time. So we'll do the other side. So standing, the top of your mat, feet are close together, hands at heart center, stepping back with the left foot slightly turned, 45-degree angle, facing the front of the mat. Your hips are square. Right knee is bent over right ankle. Pressing back into that back foot, pressing on the other side. Strong through your feet. Breathe your arms up and facing forward. You may pull your belly in. I think I was saying that to myself. Christina, pull your belly in. And then slightly opening that left foot towards the length of the mat as well as your hips. Now facing the length of the mat. Your front leg is strong, reaching your arms out to the side and looking over your front hand, which is the hand over the bent knee. I changed direction, so hopefully I haven't. And you want to feel this in your legs, just feeling that strength, building that strength. During labor, we use all our body, especially our lower body. Ideally, you're staying in gravity neutral positions, especially near the end of your labor as you begin to move closer to birthing your baby. Okay, so straightening that front leg, turning your feet both towards the length of the mat. Again, five-pointed star, extending, reaching forward, pressing your tailbone, extending back. Sacrum is back. Your sternum is extended forward, and as you look down, pressing into the floor with open hips. Pulling in, like pulling in your pelvic floor. Just being mindful of the postpartum mamas. Just be aware of your body. And then pressing into your feet. Hands can be at the side and slowly bending up. And into, you can heel toe your way to the top of the mat. And again, standing, arms to your side. And allow those sensations. So as you stand here with your feet hip width apart, we're going to breathe our arms up into temple. So hands clasp, fingers pointed up, and just second finger, your index fingers together, and slight bend towards your right, creating an opening along that left side. And again, only to where it feels good. Inhale back to center. Take a breath here. Inhale over to the left side. Take a breath here. And we'll exhale our way back to center. And arms come down to our side. Taking our arms, inhale and clasp, if you can, your arms to the back. And if that's not available, you can always grab your forearms. And again, the purpose of this is creating space in that sternum area, in your heart center. So if you are with your hands clasped, pressing towards the floor, sternum is opening, head is neutral, and just breathe. This may feel really nice for mamas who are breastfeeding, just based on that repetitive position. Typically you tend to move forward to bring baby to you, but often we move a little like that. Okay, let's just loosen up a little bit. Okay. So just for a little balancing, we did do a little balancing with when we were in hands and knees. But let's try tree pose. So you're gonna press your feet into the floor. Your left foot right now is pressing in. As you move your right foot, you're gonna open up your hips, and your right foot is, your heel is pressing against the inner side of your calf. And that's the first spot. So arms at the side, hip is open, left leg is pressing into the floor. And then if you have it within you, you can bring that foot higher to the inside of your calf. And some may even feel, this is not usually where I go, but I'm just showing you the inside of your thigh, not on your knee. So I'm going to stay at my calf, and then I'm going to raise my arms up. And I'm creating a rooted tree, even though it feels wobbly. If you'd like, you may want to leave your hands here at heart center. And just take a couple breaths. And if you fall out, come back. It's all practice. None of it's perfect. It's perfectly practicing. And then pressing back into neutral. This time pressing your right foot into the mat, opening up your left hip. Again, foot may stay on the floor with hip open and your heel near your ankle on the inside of your leg. You may bring your foot to your inner calf, and you may bring your foot up high. I'm going to go with this because this doesn't always happen. And I'm going to raise my arms, and you may as well, into this open waving tree. Pressing into that right foot. And coming back out. And just stand with your feet, stand in mountain pose. If you'd like to have a drink of water, do so. I just had that image when we were in tree pose of the roots. And for those of you who have not yet had your baby, the branches that you'll hopefully all get to see after you deliver your baby, the placenta is considered the third stage. And the vessels in the placenta and the umbilical cord being very, resembles the roots of a tree. And it's really beautiful. I'll speak more to that maybe next time, but it's really, really, really fascinating and beautiful. Okay, let's find our way back down. I'm gonna just change this angle here. Let's extend our legs forward and just give them a little shake. You may cross your legs And then extend your legs, leaning back. Bring your legs, your knees up. Just kind of changing position here. Just moving them up and down. And then bringing your hands behind you as you lean back and bring your knees up. Just softly drop your knees to one side. And you can move with that slightly so that you don't feel too much of a twist, but enough that you can feel a little stretch. So we're just cooling down. We're going to close our practice and then move into the other side. You can bring your feet together, opening up your knees back into that kind of seated child's happy baby pose. I'm going to have you move into child's pose. And you can finish your practice in child's pose, or when I turn off the live feed, you can lie back into Shavasana and allow your body to rest. That is the most important part of yoga practice, is allowing that integration, everything to settle in and to rest. But I feel that giving you a child's pose option for those mamas, I was feeling really emotional there when I was talking about the placenta, so I'm trying to kind of ground myself right now. So it's just, I find child's pose can be a very surrendering posture. And if you have any sore joints, use props. I mean, I even found myself a year ago not always loving this pose, but based on that, and now it's very different for me. But child's pose being your knees are open, your ankles and feet can be together or open. I like the more open. And then you're reaching forward. And if you prop yourself up, then your belly can just be. And then your head can either be supported on a pillow, and your hips move towards your ankle as you drop down like that. Ideally, your head is lower than your heart. So it's kind of surrendering your head, surrendering the thoughts, just letting that go and letting your heart take precedence. Just feel and sink into that. So I encourage us all to find that your arms can be extended. Or your arms can be behind you. As it comes to mind, if anyone, or if you share this with anyone who may be closer to birthing their baby, moving from a hands and knees position during contractions to more of a surrendering child's pose position as a restful option in between, can be really effective. And then sometimes just as that's working, you need something else. But having a variety of postures and positions to get into is. So hopefully you've been able to find yourself propped up, relaxed into a child's pose. And for those, if you're comfortable there, stay there. For anyone that would like to transition into Shavasana, as you move to lay on your back, especially if you're pregnant, you most likely will feel more comfortable on your side. Bringing a pillow between your legs, propping a pillow underneath your belly. Depending how far along you are, a pillow under your belly can be feel so supportive. A pillow under your head, your eyes closed, feeling heavy on the floor, feeling supported. I thank you so much for being here this evening. I support you. I am with you. I love you. Mamas, the strength of mamas around the world is to be as we pull from that strength, we give to that strength. So may you always feel connected to one another. I thank you. Namaste. Blessings to you all. I hope to see you again. This song is called Divine Mother. Oh, thank you. Oh.